Let's review how to move the decimals when you're dividing and you have decimals in the divisor. We've done this several times and we'll keep practicing until it becomes automatic. On this page, we will do these three together. There are some examples of all variations of difficulty or situations. The divisor is the number that you are dividing by. It always comes after the division symbol. And on this page, I have the divisor in bold. You can't have decimals in the divisor. As you can see in number 1, I have 2 digits after the decimal. So I need to move the decimal 2 places, 1, 2. Now I have a whole number, 12. Because I moved it 2 places there, I will also move it 2 places here. It just so happens when we move it 2 places in the dividend, we get another whole number. This is how you'll set it up. This is all you need to do on this page. Go from there to here. On number 2, I have 1 digit to the right of the decimal. So to make this a whole number, I'll move the decimal 1 time. This now is 11. So I can do that. If I move it 1 time there, then I have to also move it 1 time here. When I move it 1 time here, I'm left with 8.14. So when I actually divide, it will look like that. Of course, on this page, you don't have to divide. All you're doing is setting them up. The divisor, again, has 2 digits to the right of the decimal. I need to get rid of those. I'll move the decimal 2 places. That becomes a 6. I'll move the decimal 2 places. I ran out of digits, so that next one's going to be a 0. See that? Now I can move it 2 places, 1, 2. So I will be dividing 720 by 6. Do the rest just the same as that. When you finish this page, you'll move on to the next. This is not difficult. In fact, I'm surprised at some of these, which I didn't notice when I picked out this page. But it'll give you a chance to see how sometimes when you have decimals in the divisor, the easiest thing to do is just cross it out. And I'll show you what I mean by that. In A, you have 1 digit to the right of the decimal. But that digit is a 0. So all you really have is 2. You don't have to do any moving because you already have a whole number. You have 2. So there's nothing to do here. Just cross off the 0 and you're end up with 2.4 divided by 2. And that's an easy, very easy one to solve. Notice that D, E, and H are all the same. There's nothing to do on those except cross out that 0. And then you can go from there. You don't need to do anything to the others because you don't have to move that decimal. Once you get to L, now you have to move the decimal to make a whole number. We'll do R and T together. R is 1/10 divided by 5/10. Here's your divisor. Remember, your divisor is always the number that comes after. If you forget, look back over this and see which numbers are bolded, and that will help you remember which one is the divisor. So we will make this a whole number. That becomes 5. So we move the decimal here, and that becomes 1. So we're left with now 5 into 1. Now, does 5 go into 1? No, 1 is too small. Given that, we're going to have to stick a decimal on here and stick in some zeros. We'll try 1 0. 5 goes into 1 0 times. Five goes into 10 2 times. Put the decimal up here, and you have 0 and 2 tenths. To check my work, I will do 0 and 2 tenths times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 0 plus, got 1 digit to the right, back to my original 1 right here. So that's how I know that's correct. On to T. Oh, this soaked through, didn't it? Oh well. My divisor has 1 digit to the right of the decimal, so I will move the decimal 1 digit. So that means I will move this decimal 1 digit also. So now that gives me 12.6 divided by 6. I'll write that out. I don't know why I'm doing this the long way. That was silly. Because in the 12, 2. 6 one time. Decimal goes straight up. There you go. That is how they all work. The most you'll ever have to move the decimal is 1 place. And there you go. This shouldn't take long.